All right, guys. So today I'm going to show you the vibration issue a lot of people have. Balance the tires, do an alignment, change the shocks, check the bushings, still can't figure it out. Whether you have a 3rd gen, 4th gen, 4runner, or an FJ Cruiser, let me show you what that problem is. It's the front differential. On the driver's side, CV axle here underneath, clearly mine's leaking. See all that movement? That's your vibration. Now, East Coast Gear Supply makes a sleeve kit for this needle bearing to replace it. Gets rid of all this slop. Supposedly it's a lifetime fix. So, I got the kit. I'll put it in. Let's get to it. All right, so let's get into the kit. This is basically what you're gonna need. 2 little liter bottles, 75, 90 weight oil. This is what comes in the kit. This is a seal press, a new seal in. And in here it comes with, there's the sleeve. This replaces the bearing, and there's a new seal around it. This is the bearing remover, and then that thing with the white thing on the end, that is the installation tool for this metal sleeve. Altogether, this thing came out to $203.74 after shipping. Not too bad. Shouldn't take too long. Should be fairly straightforward. Let's get to it. I'll get it jacked up, get the wheel off, then we'll go from there. All right, so once you get the wheel off, pry this dust cover off. You're gonna take out this cotter pin. This is gonna be a 35 mil bolt. Take out these two 19 mils. That'll loosen the knuckle. You take out the tie rod, which is also a 19 mil. You should be able to remove the axle, swing the whole knuckle up, tie it up here, and we'll get back to you when that's happened. All right, so once you get the axle nut off, take a little punch, smack with a hammer. Axle should move back pretty freely. Hit your tie rod with a hammer. It'll pop out. You can take the castle nut off. Just pop that out. These 2 bolts, these 2 19s, they go through the bottom of the knuckle. Take those both out, and you should be able to remove the knuckle like so. So, once you have the knuckle loose, you gotta get the axle out. All right. You should be able to swing your knuckle off to the side and use anything to tie it up, like a bungee or a hook or whatever. I'm gonna use a bungee cord. Just needs to stay off to the side like that. You should be able to get underneath of it. Put a pry bar right by the axle, and you should be able to get the axle to break loose. Get yourself a pan, because it will drip gear oil. And you should be able to pull the axle straight out. Theoretically. Yep, already dripping. And there she is. Try not to get this on your face or your arm because it stinks. Wear gloves. And there you go. Inspect the axle shaft. Looks pretty good still. If you can see in there, but that needle bearing in there is tore up. And the seal obviously is destroyed. But we're gonna remove it. All right, one thing I forgot to mention, before you pull the axle, this is a 10, that'll focus, a 10 Allen. Make sure that fill plug comes out. If that doesn't come out, do not pull your axle out. The drain plug, that we could always get out. Fill plug, very important. Got to put fluid back in it. With that seal out, which is a major pain in the ass, by the way. Get that out. Have to bend it up. Comes out. Now what you want to do is take a piece of a rag or a microfiber cloth or whatnot, push it back past that bearing. The last thing you want to do is have that tool fall back in that diff. Then you got to take the differential apart just to get the tool up. So here's the tool, have it laid out. This is the extraction tool. This is the installation tool. So here's the sleeve that replaces the bearing. If you notice, one side's solid, the lip goes over the inner piece. This side has a sleeve inside of the sleeve. This side goes on the inside towards the differential. This is the side that cups over, is the one that you want to bang on it with the tool to get it into the diff. Like so. It fits in here like that. Then that goes into the diff. This guy goes onto the axle seal. And pushes it in. Technically goes, yeah, that way. Goes over the lip like that, pushes it in, everything's good. This guy here, we're gonna take this over to the car. This piece has to go in behind that bearing. So you have to slip these little feet in behind the bearing. So when you tighten this, it pulls it out, pulls everything together. Okay, so you take that little piece of the tool off the end. Oh, here, let me see. It goes on the other side of this plate. You put it in there with the nut side up. It has to go right behind that bearing. So you have to put one end in, it'll get a little stuck. Just tap it, it'll pop behind it. Make sure that towel's behind it so you don't blow it all the way through. Now, what we're gonna do, this nut that comes with the kit, it's a 19 millimeter. We'll carefully put the plate over it, like so, and thread it in there. Mind you, that little plate in there has to go side to side, not up and down. Let's see if I can do this. It's kind of a weird angle to get the camera in there. So I'll get this in there. Get this somewhat start to thread. And once you get a little pressure on it, you'll feel it grab. Alright, so I'll put a lot of extension on it. It's a 19 mil. Start cranking on it. And you should see that bearing start to come out. As long as it's centered inside there, it's hard to see it because it's awkward angle. But let's see, let's crank it down. Okay, as you can see, you tighten it down, it finally pops out. That's the bearing. Let's take this thing out, take a look at it. This is how the tool works. You gotta get back behind the bearing back there, and it just so barely fits in there. If I can balance it here. Just barely fits. It rides on this edge of this bearing. As you crank it, it pulls it out of the case. This goes along the side of the case of the front diff, and it pulls the bearing out straight. Works like a charm. Now let's take this off. By the way, your gloves are gonna get shredded. So here's the needle bearing that goes bad, and that causes all that vibration. I don't know if you could tell, but those needle bearings are pretty flat in there. Don't look very good. You put it on the end of the axle. I don't know if you can see that, but that's a lot of play. So let's get the new sleeve and see what the play is on that. Here's the sleeve. It would go into the transfer case this way, or the front diff. I keep calling it transfer case. Front diff this way. No play whatsoever. That is super tight. For this, all the way down, is loose. It's actually, and it's gritty. I don't know if you can hear that. It sounds terrible. This thing, seen better days. It's definitely shot. Okay, now that we have the old bushing out, and what I want to do, and we're just going to insert it in here. Try to get it as flush and straight as possible, and just tap it with a hammer until it goes pretty flush. This is very hard to do on camera. Get started a little. Not a lot of room to do this. Just take your time, make sure it goes in straight, and this tool will basically bottom out. Hear that tone change? Changes pitch. You're at the bottom. It will rest on this lip here. And it'll bottom out right here on the diff housing. Let's grab the seal and the press. And basically, this only goes in one way. The seal goes in with this flange outwards towards the wheel. The other side goes inwards towards the diff. This spring for the kit, get the whole thing, get the seal installation tool because it slides perfectly over that lip. And it rides on this edge. You can't mess it up. I mean, you could, but you're less likely to mess it up this way. Line it up nice and straight. Give it a couple whacks. Oops. Yep, that's good. Seals in there. It's nice and flush. Good to go. Should be able to slide the axle back in. No problem. And that's it. Put the axle in there. Do yourself a favor. To refill the diff, it's right up here next to the axle housing. Do yourself a favor and buy the fluid in a bag. Don't buy the bottles unless you have a, well, not even if you have a pump. It's kind of a pain. These bags are nice. They're pliable. You just stick the nozzle in there, squeeze it until it comes out the hole, put the plug back in it, you're good to go. These are easier to get up in that tight space than a hard bottle, even those siphon pumps that just make a mess. Other than that, we put the bolts back in, put the axle back on. Same thing as taking the stuff apart. Very simple. It's supposed to be a permanent fix for that bearing. Time will tell. I guess we'll find out. All right, guys. Back together. This bolt, the wheel nut, needs to be torqued to 174 foot-pounds. The two knuckle bolts underneath are 108. The fill plug is supposed to be 36 foot-pounds, and the drain plug is supposed to be 48 foot-pounds. So once you get that done, should be good. Put the dust cap back on. Hammer that thing back on. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Put the wheel back on. Forgot to mention, before you start this, you will have to take all your skid plates off. There's only 8 bolts, 4 in each. Pop right off. Very easy. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. It takes about, I'd say 1.4 quarts of fluid. Had a half a quart and then another full one. Just fill it till it comes out the hole. Put the plug back in, tighten it down, and that's it. All right, made it back home. Drove it on the freeway. Vibration is gone. Doesn't leak fluid anymore. The East Coast Gear Supply sleeve, highly recommended. If you're having a vibration problem, you did everything, tires, balance, alignments, look into it, get under there, shake your axle on the driver's side. If you have a lot of play in that inner CV joint, you probably need a bearing. Might as well order a seal and an installation kit. It's worth it. All right, guys. Well, till next time.